Shalom Akim. I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who teach and rule well, and salutation to all the Akim in all four corners of earth who's pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalom Akim. Yeah, I want to get into this Campbell soup debacle that's going on. Campbell soup was a soup, my grandfather and great uncles and them, they love that. And I was a kid, I dealt with it. As we get older, the ingredients and products change, the taste changes. As I got older, I left the Campbells alone for mostly that. I used to like the chicken noodle soup. They had a nice chicken noodle soup, and then it started tasting weird. Like the can was weird. I don't know, it just started tasting odd, had an odd aftertaste to it. So I left that soup and went to the progressive soup, which was better taste, all the way around better taste. And this was when I was younger. Right now that progressive soup is trash too, but anywho, back to this Campbell's. So I left the chicken soup alone, and I would deal with the tomato soup, and then they had another base soup. The chicken broth was pretty good, but the chicken noodle soup was not it. And like I said, the tomato soup was okay. And even then, they still had like can taste. You could taste the can and what it was in. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just my weird taste. But it wasn't up to par anymore. And here it is. Campbell Soup exec called its products food for poor people. And when you think about it, Campbell Soup, when they used to have a commercial when it was coming out, yeah, it was. They had you crackers had the markets crash, and this is what they were eating, and this is what they were promoting at that time. That Campbell Soup for the people. But at the end of the day, this is more and more signs of Babylon's deteriorating. Because what's going to happen is, in this day and age that we're in, they got something called a cancel culture. So these people will cancel you out for making remarks, whether it was right or wrong, or if it was true or not. You know what I'm saying? They go off of their feelings and emotions. But as Campbell Soup CEO came out and said this crap, I guarantee their stock is gonna drop more. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see some of these plants closing. And that's just gonna be the downfall of it, man. Showing more and more signs of this place going down. But at the end of the day, he said it was for poor people. He said the meat was bioengineered meat, and these are things that we know because we're in this truth, and we search and do diligent search for these things, and we find out these things. Whether we do it, we look out for these things, and we know that a lot of the foods that we eat is defiled in this place, man. Let me bring that out. This is Ezekiel 13 and 12. I'm gonna start at. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man in their sight. And the Lord said, even this shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, which I will drive them. So yes, our food is jacked up. All the only thing we can do is pray over our food, man. That's all we have. We are prisoners of hope. We are prisoners of the Lord because that's all we have, man. We have to. We have to endure these things, man. It's vexing to think about when I was a kid to now how the different food has changed in taste. From you used to be able to eat McDonald's when I was a kid to now I wouldn't go in there for a cup of water. Think of the different, the sugar drinks that you had, and they were telling you were good. They were actually tearing you down and killing you. This place is all about death. When you think about these hospitals, they don't even, their main job is to keep you to coming back, especially off the food we eat, man. Think about the food. You're supposed to be getting energy, getting nutrients out the food, and it's doing the opposite. It's taking from us or it's killing us. But I love doing videos on the GMO fruits and foods that are out there and how they are eating you from the inside out, man. These are because we eat it and it gets into our gut and it tears us up, man. Bill Gates came out with that Appeal avocado. I bought one not knowing that he had tampered with it and got it home and cut it open and was wondering why, it was rubbery, But yeah, our food is defiled, man. You know, and this is part of our punishment, man. You know, and and this is how we know we're coming to the end, man. Because this knowledge is increasing, man. We're finding out about who's doing what to our food, and we already know why, but we're finding out who's doing what to our food. The people that you trust so much are really out to get you, to kill you, man. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You know, and this is you know, this is Esau. You know, he is the wicked, man. You know, and Lord willing, we endure. We'll be judges of this earth. You know, and we'll be able to set things in righteousness coming soon, man. You know, if we continue to endure in this truth, man. You know, but this guy, the CEO guy, you know, they're making millions. They're making millions and millions of dollars. And what happens is, you know, for the most part, when a company like this falls down, like let's just say Campbell Soup was to go bankrupt, and he was to go ahead and cash out all his assets, 9 times out of 10, because it's a family business, they'll go ahead and open up another type of soup business or type of business so they can keep that money going, you know? For instance, whenever you hear about like your electronic stores in your area closing down or something, the major brands, the CEOs will go ahead and pull their money out, pull all the asset money out or whatever, and let it crash, let the people fend for jobs elsewhere, while the CEOs go ahead and open up another company somewhere else. Happens all the time. This is America. This is how it works, you know? But yeah, this food crisis and things is going on. You know, that's another thing. We also have the government killing animals left and right, man, that we eat, whether it be the chicken, you know what I'm saying, or beef, just killing them off left and right. But he'll give you a bioengineered piece of meat to eat. You know, it does the once again does the total opposite of regular meat does. Regular meat puts protein, iron, the things that your body needs in you. You know, like right now you need iron. It's cold outside. You know, what are you going to do to fight off the common cold? You have iron intake, but you know Esau has his biogenetic fruits and vegetables out there and meats that'll jack you up. You think you're getting iron and you're not. You're getting something else, man. Or it'll be a iron breakdown. Like it'll act as though it's iron and it won't be iron. So Esau has all sorts of tricks up his sleeve to try to keep, you know, try for one to keep you sleeping as well as to keep you thinking that you're doing the right thing. You know, they're getting exposed left and right, and that's our job, man. You know, our job is to expose this devil, man, and the wickedness that he's doing, man. You know, through these scriptures, man, first and foremost. You know, and you know, through these scriptures first and foremost. That's it, man. You know, this is what we use, man. You know, the Lord has given us a great gift, you know, of understanding, and we're able to expose our enemy, man. This is Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate, man. And you know, this is just you know, sum up all of Esau, you know, because he's prideful, man. That dude got on there and knowing, I don't know if he knew that he was going to record it or not, man. But you know, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, man. But at the end of the day, they're very prideful, man. They don't care, man. You know, it's, once again, he's a CEO. He's got millions in the bank, and if Campbell Soup crashes right now, he's gonna take his millions and invest into another food company and keep it going, man. You know, you got to keep the money going here in Babylon, and that's how Esau does it, man. He crashes one thing and builds up another one. You know, but yeah, he's full of his pride and arrogancy and the evil way, man. You know, putting these defiled foods and bioengineered foods in our system, man. That's jacked up. Look at whenever you go into Whole Foods has that sign that says what do they say? What is that? GMO free. You know, some shit like that. And since 1979 or some shit like that. And that's the biggest lie, man. Another thing Esau, takes these words and he'll buy a word and change it up, you know? Or he'll just buy a word and put it on to what his meaning wants, what he wants it to mean. Case in point, the word naturally, artificially natural. You know, those type of terms you have to watch because Esau has bought the rights to those words and he can put whatever he wants to for artificial natural sweetener and those type of words, man. You know, the devil's playing all sorts of games, man. This is why at the end of the day we need the Lord to come back, man. You know, this is 1 Thessalonians 5 and I'm gonna start at 16. Rejoice even more, pray without ceasing. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai Mashiach concerning you, man. So that's what it's about, man. You know, give thanks to the Lord for this understanding and this truth. Give thanks, pray over your food continuously, man. You know, pray over your food continuously. You know, a few years ago, I did a video about in North Carolina or South North Carolina. You know, you had a food farm where Jake had a food farm. Where Esau had a pig farm that was not too far off, and he would shoot the pig mess off into the air, and it would just spray down on people all over the place, man. They say they wake up in the morning, poo all over the place, pig poo. You know, getting all into their farm products and their water system and everything, man. So yeah, this place is jacked up, man. We need the Lord to come back, man. You know, because you're not living here. You're getting sicker and sicker. With that being said, let's edify. Shalom, Akim.